Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, one job. We were doing this past week, and I asked him, I said, hey, you've got this really nice Euro chairs. When you guys tear this thing down, can you have those chairs from City Hall? And they said, yeah, so we might get a call because they're really nice Euro chairs. Yeah, I mean, they're... So I'm sure they'll buy all new whenever we get this.
Of course they are.
Hey, you know, we got the money.
They have the money, yeah. They got the commitment of the money.
They got to figure out how to do it.
Hey, you and I have matching colors.
We do.
We do.
They do all.
Thank you, gentlemen, ladies. Bonnie, thank you very much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Rodney.
Thanks for the time.
Richmond call.
Commissioner Garavalia, here. Commissioner Story,
Present.
Commissioner Perkins,
President.
Commissioner Messersmith.
Here.
Mayor Condon.
Here. Mr. Rod, you want to read your opinion on this, please?
Yes, everyone has their minutes in the packet, and I trust you've had an opportunity to read them. And so I would ask for approval of the minutes. Commissioner Garavalia? Yes. Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Messersmith?
Yes.
Mayor Condon.
Yes. Okay, public property report to Commissioner Perkins.
Keep it short and sweet tonight. We have a approval for a full-time maintenance worker. We went through the applications we had and whatever else came in. Just we should refile those. They were due on the 19th. I'd like to make a motion to hire Robert. I guess Jimmy Wells, the third.
Whatever.
Yeah, so. I'd like to make that in form of a motion to approve that.
Second.
Commissioner Garavalia?
Jimmy.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Commissioner Messersmith? Mayor Condon.
Yes.
What's his start date gonna be, Mr. Perkins?
It'll be tomorrow. We got all, background check, everything ready to go, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nothing further, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, streets and improvements, Commissioner Messersmith.
Yes, no purchase orders tonight. The only thing that I've had on the agenda was just to revisit the discontinuation of trash service to the civic organizations. I am fully on board with knowing that that needs to happen for the betterment of the community. The feedback that I had received mostly from the city park was more the timing. And so I just wanted to revisit that, see if we could have a dialogue, figure out, is there we voted eventually for October, but January, is there something we can do in between that would make that a little easier, a little softer of a blow? I know when Rachel sat down with them, that was the same day they got the letter. They approved us for Fall Fest the same day they got the letter that told them that they'll have to start paying for their trash, which also was coincidentally, October is the beginning of their new budget. So and I know there's an expense involved to the city and to everyone else. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way that we can make that a win-win for them as well as the city not take a full hit on it at the same time. So I just wanted to reintroduce that and have that dialogue and figure out if we can look at something else.
If we postpone it, we would have to postpone it for everybody, and that is a great expense to the city and the taxpayers. Perhaps for those entities that have to bid out and need the time, perhaps they could be just billed through the city for that period of time so as to continue their trash service. And do they, you know, would just pay it on the water bill?
Yeah, because the total is, monthly is almost 1,400, 1,360, I believe.
Yeah.
And that would begin in October? Is that when Republic's new contract begins, is in October, and that's when that expense?
August the 1st.
Oh, so it's retroactive, it's already been going on. Okay, so we've already been incurring that this month.
Yes, we have been.
And so for the first 2 months, August, September, we will have taken that off, so October, we'll be when we take off.
In the past 4 years, it cost the city close to $60,000, and that, we just, you know, as we're all working hard on this council to streamline our costs, and I just think that this is just a situation where it's good judgment and something, and I understand what you're saying, buddy, I'm not callous to that, but you have to pick a date and start sometime, and we covered a couple of months, so.
Fair enough.
Any other discussion?
I would like to pass on a thank you that the library verbally gave me for all the past years that the city has provided service to them, and they were 100% on board with taking on that expense themselves. They did ask me to pass on a thank you.
And it's an echo from me. I hand signed all the letters that went out, and I've gotten a lot of positive responses from people saying that they appreciate what we've done for them, and that's important to us to know that. It's just a situation where, you know, we're the cash cow. The cash cow needs to streamline.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
That's it, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Council and Finance Report, Commissioner Garabaya. Excuse me. Okay, how can I forget? Public Health and Safety Report, Commissioner Story.
Yeah, I got some purchase orders. First one is for outfitting the cars, the 2 new squad cars we got, for the 2019 Ford Taurus. Includes shipping, installation costs and all, is $20,000. That's everything right now. Nothing else. That should be everything. So I'll make a motion, we accept that equipment, for the new Tauruses.
I second it.
Commissioner Garabaya?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Merschman?
Yes.
Mayor Garrett?
Yes.
Okay, the next one I have is, we bought some bunker gear, replaced of the old expired set. It was $2,136, for the fire department. I make a motion, we accept that $2,136.
I second it.
Commissioner Garabaya?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Merschman?
Yes.
Mayor Condon?
Yes.
Then I got another one here for a set of bunker gear, 5442 pants and coat, replacement of expired gear for $1,532.58. I make a motion to accept that.
Is the only difference the suspenders?
Clear that up.
Yeah.
There's a price difference there, I just wanna make sure I'm reading the price difference correctly.
Correct. The normal cost is $21.36, but the last 6 sets that we had purchased, the company, which was actually, that they had bought the material on, which was DuPont. DuPont had they made a mistake on coloring a gear. Well, some of the gear, that was black ended up fading to red. So DuPont and this company has made it good, and what they've done is for the next sets of gear, 3 sets, of that type of gear, they're gonna give us a price break, which is 2014 pricing.
Okay.
So for these next few sets.
So it's the identical set, discoloration included?
Correct, so we're getting a discount on that one set there, and this other set's a different brand, so
So in other words, they warranty.
they essentially prorated the warranty, correct?
Oh, that's nice to hear.
Okay, the next one is the purchase of...
We didn't get it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I second that. Thank you.
Commissioner Garvelia?
There will be $6,503.38 left in your bunker gear.
Dr. Year?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and, yes,
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Messersohn?
Yes.
Mayor Condon?
Yes. And again, we got the ice machine that was purchased for $3,480.33. It will be taken out of the building maintenance. I'll make a motion, we accept that.
I second it.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Messersohn?
Yes.
Mayor Condon?
Yes. And the next thing I got is police chief employment agreement. You should have that in your packet. I make a motion to accept, make Mike Andrews the police chief, Benton. He will be doing his forensics. Matter of fact, he just got back from Alabama for a week, and he will be making an annual of $75,000 annual and paid on a bi-weekly basis, which the other chief gets 70, but he's doing forensics plus the chief's job, so I'll make a motion to accept his contract.
I would like to state further on this agreement, that his base salary will be $70,000, and it will include 2%. He's eligible for a 2% raise, and the raise will be based on that $70,000. He will be getting an additional $5,000 that will be taxed. It will not receive the 2% raise, annual raise, and that's for his duties as the forensic officer. And that's additional duties that he's going to be providing along with the police chief employment. And we're so fortunate to have his abilities and his certification in that. It's, what's the percentage on, of the...
Forensic cases?
Yeah, in Southern Illinois.
Primarily, when I think of forensics, I think of crimes against children, because that's what we
Right.
started it for.
Exactly.
However, everyone carries one of these,
Mhm.
so every crime they commit, forensics can come in and play a role. I've done forensics for a counterfeit case for Secret Service, as well as child exploitation cases. So it can touch us almost every day.
Yes, it really does, and my background has been in child sex crimes, so I have a big heart for that as well. So anyway, I just want that clarification on the salary, that the $5,000 is an additional, for the additional work that he's going to be doing. And I second it.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Yes.
Mayor Condon?
Yes. That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Okay, accounts and finance report from Mr. Garvelia.
Yes, okay, I have a purchase order for, this purchase order is for a block of hours, and it's for, this is for the Concept of Illinois, and this is for computer, and what was it, Windows 10 that we had
The
installed?
block of hours is when they come and work on any computer throughout the
Okay.
city. It's already paid for in advance. they just subtract their
So-
hours off of it.
So we need to have, make a motion that we approve this for $4,925.
Second.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Story? Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Messersohn?
Yes.
Mayor Condon?
Yes.
Okay, for the payroll, coming out of the general fund, is, we paid $66,769.70. Out of the water and sewer, $32,695.72. And we paid the airport caretaker $1,100, and that makes a total of the payroll $100,565.42.
And do that story.
I ask that the payroll be approved.
And second that.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Story? Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Messersohn?
Yes.
Mayor Condon?
Yes.
And I have some water and sewer adjustments. Revisiting
So there's a picture panel.
a pool adjustment that we had tabled for from last meeting. And this is on Connie Key at 210 West Park. And further investigation revealed that there was no pool visible, and the recommendation is I guess there had been a pool that busted, but there was nothing visible, and it was a very small pool, and the recommendation is that sewer adjustment not be approved.
What's the bottom of that say, Commissioner Garvelia?
I'm sorry.
Do we know what the bottom of it says? It says it was up to the
Yes,
time.
it was a small pool, like a 16 I thought it was a 2-foot history on there, but I think it was 16 by 2. There was no fence visible. The reason there was no fence is because it was such a small pool, it didn't require the fence. It was just a little pool that was
It's
purchased.
like a wade pool, maybe?
Yeah, like a little wade pool. And it had been filled up like 10 times, but only one time is allowable, and it's small, and
So
so.
did you give her credit for one time?
No, she's going to, hold off on that because there may be a need for a sewer adjustment. You only get one a year,
Okay.
so it's, so on time,
You get
I
motion
make a
denied.
motion that be denied.
She will get one adjustment, is that right, in a year? Is that the way?
So she's stating the adjustment for something more sizable.
Okay.
You were seconding it.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Messersohn?
Yes.
Mayor Condon?
Okay, the next one is Dave Clark at 11228 State Highway 37, and it's for a pool adjustment, and the recommendation on that is yes, it meets all the requirements.
Second.
I make a motion that be approved.
Okay. Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Messersohn?
Yes.
Mayor Condon?
Yes.
And I have 2 that are due to water line break. One is for Scott Cameron at 1106 Licklister Lot 30, and the other one is Christopher. The name and the address is 903 Fairland, and both of those are due to water break under their houses. And I make a recommendation that both of those be approved for sewer adjustment.
Make the motion.
You're seconding that?
Yes.
Commissioner Garavilla?
Yes.
Commissioner
Yes.
Story? Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Messerschmidt?
Yes.
Mayor Condon?
Yes.
Okay, the next thing I have is I'd like to make a motion for a resolution for the finance commissioner, myself, to a resolution for IMRF, payments to be made that I'll just read it, whereas the city of Benton, Illinois, is a participant in Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund, whereas elected officials may participate in the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund if they are in positions normally requiring performance of duty for 1,000 hours or more per year, whereas the governing body can determine what the normal and annual hourly requirements of its elected officials are and should make such determination by the guidance and direction of the Board of Trustees of the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. And I make a motion that this be approved, that I can contribute to the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund.
You keep track of your own hours.
Yes, and I will continue to keep track of my own hours, and with one thing, learning the ins and outs of all of the finance, I'm putting in numerous hours with that, and we're going to be having the different agreements coming up and such. I don't think I have any problem meeting the hours
If you
at
want to
all.
spend the hours in it, that's fine, I'll second that.
Kind of cheap one, finance.
Yeah.
Commissioner Garavilla?
How do we, real quick, I'm sorry, and I'm not doubting you, Kelly, how do we track the hours just in case in the future they need to come in and, like if one of us would do that?
Okay.
I'm just like curious,
I'm gonna keep a daily log of all
Okay.
the hours.
I didn't know, and that'll be all up here, or it'll be,
I can make it,
I mean, will it just be like
Available.
actual city hours, or will that be like, we have like a ribbon cutting for the city, or how do we, I mean, like, what hours contribute to the 1,000 hours that
I think once I report into the city, that anything I do that takes me away from the premises will be
Okay, I just didn't know. I was
Just like
just-
any other employee.
I was just curious, I mean, I'm not trying to deny, I just,
Yeah, no.
I'm just wondering, like, overall, like in the future, like, for that, like, if we go to, like, a chamber after hours, or if we go to, like, if you go to the municipal league and you do the whole weekend, would that be considered the whole, like, block of hours, like, say, 72?
I'm not sure the municipal league will be allowable.
Okay, I just didn't know, I'm curious, I'm not, just trying to
I
find
know.
out. I'm a-
Rangers football doesn't count.
Well, there goes 4 hours of my week.
There you go.
Commissioner Garavilla?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes,
Commissioner
I go
Messerschmidt?
for two, you know.
Mayor Condon?
Yes.
Kathy, you also had another application for sewer adjustment, too.
Yeah, I've seen that.
There's another one in the file
No, I don't
for
have.
William
which-
Whitesong.
Nope, I don't have that.
It was put to the back of the
Oh, the back of the
photocopy.
photocopy.
Okay,
There,
let's see.
there's mine.
I just wanna make sure we don't miss anything.
Okay. I apologize. Okay, then another sewer adjustment for William
Whitesong,
Wysong at 212 North Maple Street. I make a motion that be approved.
Actually, we.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I make a motion that it be denied. Okay, yes. I apologize. Okay, I make a motion that one be denied. It does not meet the requirements. Do not have a fence around it.
Commissioner Garavilla?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
yes.
Commissioner Messerschmidt?
Yes.
Mayor Condon?
Yes.
You want me to present it?
If you like.
Okay. I'd like to present one more purchase order, and this is for landscaping at City Hall. Greenleaf Landscaping will be providing the services for this, and it's in the amount of $465. I make a motion that that be approved.
Second.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yep.
Commissioner Messersohn?
That's the only bid that we got, right?
Yes.
Wasn't that the only bid we got?
Only
No.
proposal.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Hey, city attorney updates?
There's nothing nice.
Public affairs, I just got through watching a news media broadcast from Brendan Kelly, who's a friend of mine, and it was really emotional. The state trooper was shot in St. Louis over the weekend. I tell you what, our first responders are under attack in the United States, and Don Story knows as well as anybody. When a siren goes off, I mean, I want to know what's going on, and I tell you truthfully, I'm a nervous wreck. I mean, I worry about our people. And it goes for our new employee, Jimmy. Our city is well kept and it's well maintained. But I tell you what, when you go to bed at night, you say your prayers. Pray for our first responders. I didn't think I'd ever see the day that we had to buy equipment for the fire department to wear before they go to a firefighting situation where it was protecting them from somebody shooting them or harming them. So it's a situation that citizens can help. I mean, if you see something strange or abnormal or unusual, the first people to call is the chief's office or either one of the fire department or police chief. And I want to thank you guys. I want to thank your men. I want to thank the city of Benton for their labors. I just on the way to the city hall this evening, I always go by and check the progress on North Main with the water line, and there was a gusher. I mean, I told Lee, at all times, but close to quitting time, I mean, somebody hit a water line, and then we hit a gas line over the workers that hit a gas line, a main gas line down by the fire station. So progress, P equals P. Progress equals pain. So we have to be very cautious. Say a prayer for our employees because they need it, and they need prayer for safety. And I'm a big believer in that. So I want to thank the city employees. This is not a campaign speech. It's a statement from my heart. And I want to thank the chiefs. They do a great job. So it's very important to me. Part B is discussion or approval of city participation in the 2020 census. The 2020 census is important because you've got to count everybody that's within your city limits, and you're actually paid through taxes by how many people that live within the city limits of Benton. So every mayor when I go to a meeting, that's a big deal on their minds right now. So if you have any questions, the council, about the census for the city of Benton, we need to ask them, and we're going to address that with great vigor, and we're going to help the people taking the census because we have to have an accurate count. My mayor friend from Christopher, the census taken 10 years ago came in low, and he knew better than that. He could almost count the people in Christopher by himself. So he actually appealed the case. It took a while to get the case rectified, but he won the case. So we have to be accurate on our census, and the council can help. We need to help the people that take the census. So that's part of my report, and proud of Benton. Benton is progressing, and we had a meeting tonight about Wascina Street, and we had a nice turnout and some very constructive questions from people. The Wascina Street project will be probably completed in 4 to 5 years, maybe. That's what we're looking for. We have the plans, which are massive, Commissioner Messerschmidt was here, and it always boils down to, well, it's gonna start when we get the money, so that's a big factor from the United States, and it's, the capital bill is a big deal for the United States, and so is the state of Illinois, so we're very confident that Wasena will be done, it'll be a thoroughfare, and it'll be widened, and it'll be a security factor for the city of Benton. Number 10, miscellaneous business. 11, old business.
Only thing I was gonna say is, I fully support Commissioner Garavaglia in understanding the finances, but I just wanna point out that we just approved hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what the original conversation was gonna come down to about $4,000 if we had delayed that. And if we're watching our pennies that closely, I just wanna ensure that we're watching all of our pennies in all of these other piles. We're hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, we just voted on. It bothers me a little bit that we put this down so quickly, and then we voted these through so quickly, that this couldn't have been a consideration to a little deeper depth when we looked at some of these others. And some of these other dollars that we were shoving and pushing through, voting through here. I just wanna make sure that we're doing diligence on both sides of that table. That's the only thing I get it, I understand it, I support it, I know that we need to watch the pennies, and I appreciate that.
Right.
Because I do know that number does add up quickly, but if we're looking at that, you know, there's $4,000 that I bet we could have found somewhere back in here if we'd taken more time, maybe. But there's just a part of me that kind of wonders, we went through this so quickly, and we took down this so quickly. It just felt like an imbalance to me, so.
Well, part of it, we do have this budgeted, and
Sure.
the additional expense we didn't have budgeted, and so, you know, we have to come up with the difference.
Sure.
And so.
Well, yeah, no different than the ice machine,
Yeah.
and making sure it comes out of the budget when it's an unplanned expense. I
Right.
understand that.
It's coming out of
Right.
the budget.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so, like I said, I can appreciate that, it seemed like it happened in the way that happened, to make sure that we're doing due diligence all the way across the board.
I appreciate that. And with that being said, I'd like to interject the importance of everybody looking over all of the bills, not just in your department, but in the other departments as well, because when you vote to approve the bills that are paid, you need to be responsible, that you know what those bills are, and that's part of our checks and balances. You may see something that you question, and they're just very important. We're assigned to our departments, but we're responsible for everything, and we're responsible to the citizens, so I would encourage you to always look over all of the bills. Okay.
Very good, thank you. New business.
Bruce, do we need to take any action on that, census participation? Is there any documents?
Probably need to appoint somebody to go for it.
Okay.
Come back to that later on, too, before we go on.
Who would be the most likely to, would it be under clerk, or would it be under,
I think it would go under Rachel.
Okay, Rachel, very good. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So we need a motion to appoint Rachel
Good
Gardner.
idea.
So we need a motion to appoint Rachel Gardner as the participant from the city for the 2020 census. Someone will make that motion.
I make that motion, that Rachel be appointed to the 2020 census participation.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Garavaglia?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Messerschmidt?
Yes.
Mayor Condon?
Yes.
Okay, new business now. Matters from public audience. Tom?
Speaking of finances and things, the water department, after borrowing 1.2 million, I shouldn't say borrowing, just took 1.2 million out of the sewer fund to be used for the water meters. And I understand we got men out there now that they're mowing and working out there at the airport from the water department. Will the airport fund be reimbursing that money to the water department? I don't want them running short and having to get money out of the sewer fund again.
That's just something I have to look into. I mean, I can't answer at this time. so.
Well, you had men out there, so I was just wondering if the airport was.
I mean, I know we got men all over the city doing things. I mean, I like to applaud, you know, our guys, I mean, I think they step up, I mean.
Well, the
they're
airport
always-
gets $150,000 a year, so they can afford to
Yeah.
pay for their manpower out there.
I mean, I know they're down a mower right now, we're looking at replacing, you know, that, but, you know, right now, I mean, it's all hands on deck, I mean, we've been short a couple of guys for a while, so,
But
playing a lot of catch up, so, but I
being
mean, that's
short or
something,
whatever, that's not what I asked.
that's something that you could come up
Will
with,
they
we can
be-
talk about if you'd like.
Will the airport fund be replacing?
That's something we could look at, I mean, like I said, just come up and we'll talk about it, and we'll go over and see. As of right now, I mean, I don't have numbers right in front of me, so,
Okay.
Or do I?
yeah, so, to speak more educated on that, I would like to.
Well, I was gonna talk to Fred about this, but I left him a message, but he never called me back, so.
I think they've all been a little busy lately, so, I mean, I can't speak
Hey,
on.
Tom, basically, it's just a few hours. We've, went out there and changed some blades on the mower, and, last time the mower broke down, we went there and did some repairs on it, that's all we've done out there.
Well, I'm just, I don't want the water fund.
Yes, the water, yeah.
I don't want the water fund running short.
Right.
For any reason, because, we still owe a ton of money with.
Right,
with
and I
sewer
agree
plant.
the airport should probably pay for those few hours that were there.
Yes, they should.
I just, 'cause I think that's kind of what you're after, right?
Yeah.
Julie?
Mr. Stewart. Lucky you. How long is the police chief's contract? 3 years?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. And what I really want to ask is the pension fund for the police. You know, they were talking about messing with that, the statewide. Have you heard any more on that?
I haven't heard nothing on it. I read something here a while back that it's kind of hush now.
None of those bills got out of committee.
Huh?
None of those bills passed.
No, it's kind of.
Okay, so nothing's
No,
done in
no.
front of,
It's kind of hush now.
maybe they'll leave it alone.
The governor has his committee, that he's appointed, but, they're looking at options, but nothing's been brought to the table, we're about half the process.
I just can't see messing with it myself, but then I'm not a,
We're
I'm
exploring
not
all
a
options,
first
but,
responder.
yeah, we're exploring all options, but as of right now, nothing principle has come across that all parties can agree on.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
I have a question.
If you would state your name, please, so we can,
I'm sorry?
if you would state your name, please.
Cindy Britton.
Okay, Cindy.
I've got a couple questions concerning the full-time maintenance position that's been filled. How many people actually applied for that position?
Initially, there was 40, and then there was some that trickled in, so about maybe 4 or 5 applicants on top of that. So we
For
were
this
talking-
very position, not the previous position?
Oh, for this one, there was very minimal that applied this time, like maybe 4 or 5.
4 or
In
5?
fact, we recycle our applicants on top of that, so.
And you interviewed all of them for this very position?
Well, and the last time, what we did is we trickled down to people that actually had experience for that. So unless they had sewer or water experience for that, or they had like CDL, or they had to actually have some type of experience that was worthy of that. No, we went from there, so.
And what about this position that's just been filled?
There was nobody that actually reapplied that actually had the actual experience for that, so. They had
So-
water and sewer.
So there was just one individual that applied that had experience?
He had previously applied, that's what I'm saying, we went through the applications again, so we're back through that, so. But I mean, if you get somebody that, you know, doesn't have experience for that, I mean, we're not gonna, not to sound mean, but, you know, if we had to apply and interview everybody that applies, I mean, we'd be here, I mean, probably weeks upon weeks, and we had to fill a position, so.
But you went back to the previous position where
The previous,
those
where we
people
have a stack of
had
applicants, so
experience
that.
and
Yes, absolutely,
and you looked at them
Mhm.
also?
absolutely.
Of course, I knew who was gonna be hired a week ago.
I knew who was going to be hired months ago.
Well, apparently you guys thought I was gonna hire somebody else and you shocked my day list, but once again, like I said, I mean, I think Jimmy shows great experience. He's doing the work right now for, you know, weeks. I think he's got great work ethic.
I'm
So-
sure he does.
So, I mean, I think it's been a win-win situation on that. I said last meeting that we had this one, Tom, you know, asked him about it. You know, everybody thinks that it's a favorites game, everybody thinks that we hire because we know somebody. I could go through this whole room right now and I could point out, and I'll do it right here on the board. You know, I go up to, you know, Commissioner Story. I went to school with your daughter. I've served on that, you know, council up at the, you know, Chamber of Commerce for that. Kathy, I ran against Dave my first election. Tom, we go to church together. Actually, your mom and my grandma were friends growing up. Fred, I went to school with Ryan. Brooke, oh my God, we go to church together. Lee, we go to church together. If I could go through this whole room, and people think it's a favorites game, but as I said last night, when you grow up in a town of less than 7,000, hopefully it's more due to our census dollars, but the thing is, people think that it's a favorites game. It's not. You gotta look at somebody that has experience and somebody knows how to do the job. I'll give Jimmy an example. I really don't know a whole lot about water and sewer, like the processes, but I'm learning every day, and that's what makes it good. Nobody really knows the ins and outs of the position. I don't think Kathy knew everything about finance. Don didn't know everything about public safety, and I'll throw Lee under as well. He didn't know everything about street, but we're learning this position every day. But when Jimmy did his interview and he starts rattling off things, and I've got Craig right next to me, and Craig's going, yeah, that's true. He could have fed me a line, but you can't fool Craig, because Craig knows the job's ins and out for that. But here's the thing, Craig may have been part of the interview process, but it was ultimately my decision, and I let it be known, so,
Thank you.
I mean, that's all I've got. I mean, if you guys want to say it's favoritism or nepotism, believe what you want, but I know in goodness of my heart, I can go to bed at night, and I can sleep, because I know, honestly, that I'm proud that we got Jimmy, because I know Jimmy's a worker. So, and I would vouch for him. And I will tell you this, Jimmy is not the same man that I used to know years ago, and Jimmy makes me proud. And I want to call him by his nickname. No, I don't want to say that on public. But I will tell you this, Jimmy, if you ever think about Jimmy about 5-6 years ago, Jimmy was a little bit rough around the edges. When Jimmy came to that interview that night, he rocked my socks. And I tell you what, it was a hard decision. We've narrowed it down to 12, Cindy. I will tell you this, out of those 12, it was amazing how many people do not want a job. How many people of those 12 that actually had experience came in under the influence of some type of controlled substance?
Sure.
How many people just didn't even care? I mean, didn't even care, like even wearing something presentable? I'm not asking you to wear a three-piece suit to an interview. But my goodness, if you tell me that you don't care and you're sitting there holding a stick up in one hand and a bottle in the other, do you think I want to hire you? No. Because you know what, you're a representation of the city. And I tell you what, it got really, really difficult. There was 4 people that I just really, really struggled with. And it came down to it, and then it got down to 3, and I sit there and I'm shopping. And I'm a man of strong conviction. I prayed about it, you know, I have nothing to hide on that, but I will tell you this, I prayed about it, and we looked at 4 different things, and to be honest, Bailiff was the overall during the first time, and Jimmy was a very close second. This next time when we got a few more applicants in, we didn't have a few more things, so. But I think Jimmy overall, you know, he's still that shining star, so. So I'm gonna stand behind him. If you wanna attack him, come after me. But I'll talk to him, we'll talk to other people. Yeah, so, no, and it's fine, so, like I said, I've heard it all, so, but I stand by my position, so. That was nobody other than mine, so.
Thank you.
All right.
Anybody else? Motion to adjourn?
Make the motion.
I make a motion.
I'll say again.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Story?
Yes.
Commissioner Perkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Evans?
Yes.